right. Well, thank you for joining us today, everyone. My name is Anthony Hankerson. I work here in our Career and Professional Development office at WGU on the Employee Relations team. If you haven't engaged with the ER team, up to this point, we connect employers like John to students and alumni and vice versa. So we welcome everyone from all over. I know we have a lot of people that checked in throughout the country, which is great. Just a reminder, like I said, this session will be recorded and I will be emailing it out to everyone within the next day or two. So be on the lookout for that. And with that email, you will receive a questionnaire. If you could take 1 or 2 minutes out of your day to fill that questionnaire out, we do value your feedback and want to see what we can do better in our Career Quest sessions. This is our second week of Career Quest, so if you haven't attended any sessions, welcome to your first Career Quest session for April. If you have attended some sessions, I hope that those sessions have provided a lot of information for you that you are able to take back and input into your career search or your knowledge. If you are looking for any more sessions, we do have those sessions for registration on Handshake. Find those easily by looking through WGU's Handshakes for Events. The chat is now open, so if you have any questions, feel free to post those in the chat. We are going to have a designated question and answer session at the end. If you would like to ask your question directly, but if not, feel free to drop those in the chat and we will ask John those questions afterwards. Without further ado, I would like to pass the mic off to John and talk to us a little bit about SkillStorm.
Great. Thanks, Hank. And thank you, everybody, for logging on this afternoon. Depending, I guess, morning, depending upon where you're at in the U.S. I'm John Tansel. I run the veteran programs at SkillStorm, but don't let that frighten you. I also help out quite often on the university side. So that is what hat I'm going to be wearing today. I'm actually talking to you from Marine Corps Base in Quantico, Virginia, where I'm here for a military job fair later in the week. But I'll first start off by telling you a little bit about SkillStorm. SkillStorm was founded in 2002, so we are now 22 years old. So you don't have to worry about us being in business tomorrow morning. We've got over 2 decades of being in business. What we do is we accelerate opportunity for individuals, whether they're military veterans that are leaving the military or whether they're college grads graduating from school. We accelerate their opportunity into the field of IT, specifically with software development and or cyber. And today I'll be talking mostly about software development. If you have any questions regarding cyber, I can answer those. So if indeed you're interested in SkillStorm, I can tell you that what we do is we recruit and then we train and then we employ and then deploy entry-level IT talent, specifically software developers, into commercial firms that work with us directly as our clients. And it is a great opportunity. It is a great bridge from college into the field of IT. One of the biggest problems, I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm in my 4th year at SkillStorm, but I've been doing this for 10 years, college grads and or veterans into the IT space. So I have a decade of background in talking about this. But one of the biggest problems for computer science majors is the fact that when they send out their resumes to different job openings, they wonder why that there isn't a bunch of people, running after them to come work for them, because all they read about is this huge shortage of IT talent. But it's like the ultimate catch-22. it's when they take a look at your resume, to be honest with you, the companies that need IT talent, they don't necessarily care where you graduated from, nor do they care how many certifications you have. They want to know, where have you worked? That's the bottom line. They want to know, where have you worked? And you're going like, well, wait a minute. I just graduated from college. What do you mean, where have I worked? I have a on this same laptop, I've got a meme of Frodo from Lord of the Rings, and it says, "What do you mean I need experience to get experience?" And one of the worst offenders of that is the United States government. If you take a look at USA Jobs, you take a look at an entry-level IT position on USA Jobs. Not only do you need a bachelor's degree, you also need 3 years of experience. And you're going like, well, wait a minute. There's a disconnect there. And I use the military equivalent. I said that would be like somebody getting off a bus at Parris Island in South Carolina for Marine Corps training, and the drill instructor walking up to the person saying, "Why aren't you a sergeant?" He said, "Well, I just got off the bus." What do you mean, why I'm not a sergeant? But that's what industry is doing to people that are graduating with computer science degrees. That's why so many people want to come to SkillStorm. We're that bridge. We're the bridge from college to the corporations that are looking for the IT talent. When I say the bridge, we get 75% of our work comes from the 5 big system integrators. Okay, that's PwC, EY, Accenture, Deloitte, and KPMG. We have other clients. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have Bank of America. We have the Vanguard Group, the huge mutual fund company up in Malvern, PA. We have Conoco Oil, but we do get repeated business, from the 5 big system integrators. And I think we have now over 300 people at PwC. We're approaching 125 at Deloitte. And same with the other, actually, we got probably almost 300 at Accenture now too. But anyway, that's the type of a firm that is coming to SkillStorm for the entry-level IT talent that you're trying to break into IT, and we're that bridge that opens that side door. You want to try to go in the front door, keep sending out your resume, and do a lot of hoping and praying that somebody responds to you, or you can come to a firm like ours. I will tell you that it is hard to get into SkillStorm. And part of that is that we're not doing it to be mean. We're not doing it to say, "Oh, look at how tough we are." But when you have a client base like we do, we can't send them mediocre people. They're very unforgiving. We do that once, maybe they'll look the other way. We do that multiple times. They'll say, "You know what, SkillStorm, don't bother anymore." So the very first thing you have to do is apply. By the way, I did put that in the chat. It's apply at skillstorm.com. Not a tough one there. And then that'll bring you to the page where you can go ahead and fill out an application. The training, well, not the training, I'm going to go back. So if you apply, what's going to happen is a recruiter is going to call you, and they're going to talk to you for 10 or 15 minutes. And I will tell you that for our programs, that you have to already know an OOP language. So you have to know either Java, Python, C++, or .NET. If you don't, you're not going to be able to make it through the vetting process. So the very first thing is the recruiter will talk to you. Do you know OOP? He'll ask you a couple of questions. He's really trying to find out if you do, in fact, have a computer science degree. If you do, by the way, if you don't have a computer science degree, but you minored in it, or you taught yourself software development, or you went to a coding camp, or you took a bunch of courses in the summertime at a county college, I don't care how you learned it, but you do have to know it. But anyway, so you apply. They're going to be looking at your social skills, how well you communicate. If that goes well, they will send you a link. That's a link to an aptitude test. It's 21 questions. If you do well on that, They will then call you back and they will set you up on what probably will be one of the worst 30 minutes of your life. I say that jokingly. It's going to be a one-on-one oral quiz with one of our trainers. Okay. Right now, currently, with computer science majors, the pass rate is 35%. So 35% of computer science majors get to we call that the tech screen. That's the 30-minute oral quiz with one of our trainers. I repeat, I do not say that to scare you. I say that to prepare you. Okay. I say that to prepare you because guess what? That same recruiter that you've been talking to for about a week is going to send you information to study. Okay. If you treat that tech screen, that 30-minute oral quiz like a final exam, and you actually study, not 12 minutes, but 12 hours, that tech screen percentage goes from 35% up to 78% pass rate. Okay. So if I was teaching a military class right now, I'd stomp on the ground 3 times saying, Ixnay, hey, you know what? Pay attention. Tech screen, make sure you study for it. Because we want people to come into SkillStorm. We're not trying to keep you out, but yet we need people that are really motivated to be here. The training, for the most part, it's either it's usually 12 weeks long. It's every day. It's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. We do pay you during the training. This isn't where you're paying us. We're paying you $20 an hour to get trained. We're going to train you in a certain tech stack because what we call the college grad program at SkillStorm is called Tech Force by Design. Okay, that's what we call it. So we don't recruit one person at SkillStorm unless we have a job for them. So Tech Force by Design is one of our clients coming to us, sitting down with our training team. We can train in 74 different technologies. And they sit down and they look at that those 74 technologies that we can train in, and they look at it like a restaurant menu. And they go, okay, this is what exactly I need to have trained for this cohort that you're going to go recruit for. All right. So the fact that we wait for a demand signal to come from a client is hugely helpful to the individual that's coming out of school trying to find their first job in software development or the IT field. So once the client decides that tech stack, we then go out and recruit. Why is that so good for you all? Well, it's going to take a lot of the uncertainty out. You're going to know what the tech stack is that company wants to have you learn. You're going to know what company it is, and you're also going to know where they're going to want you, even before you start your first day of training. So, if you go like, okay, I can't do that. Well, okay, so be it. Then we won't add you to that cohort. Maybe we'll put you as a future interest for a later cohort that comes along. But we need people that are relocatable because these clients are very big with many offices around the United States. And sometimes they go, look, we need people in Tampa. We need people in San Antonio. We need people in Phoenix. We need people in Salt Lake. We need people in, St. Louis or Chicago or Boston. So if a client really likes you and you're really looking forward to go work for the PwC or the EYs of the world, you've got to be relocatable. You can't say, well, I don't want to go to Dallas because I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. Right? In that situation, what happens? You're upset. You're unhappy. The client's unhappy because they liked you. They wanted you to come work for them. And we're unhappy because, you're a good candidate and it would have been a good fit, but you didn't want to move. So that's why we really try to have everybody be relocatable. So going back to the training, let's say you made it through the vetting process, you made it through the tech screen. The training, our training isn't good. Our training is outstanding. We train for 25 major universities in the United States. The same people that are training certification courses for those 25 universities like the University of Nebraska, North Dakota State, LSU, UNLV, Florida State, University of Tampa, UNC Charlotte, New Jersey Institute of Technology, Ball State University, University of Nebraska, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Pomona. These schools rely on us because they don't have the bandwidth to be able to teach the certification courses, right? You have people graduating with a computer science degree without one certification. So they use us as a way for their students to be able to do that. The same instructors that are teaching that are teaching the college grad Tech Force by Design course. All right. So like I said, the training isn't good. It's outstanding. By the way, we have 25 trainers. They are SkillStorm employees. This is not outsourced. This is SkillStorm employees. By the way, 9 of those employees are veterans. 30% of SkillStorm are veterans internally. The company is growing quickly. We're actually located right where Hank is in Jacksonville, Florida. And we've been there for 5 years now. We moved up from Fort Lauderdale. And I happen to work out in northern New Jersey, but I travel so much that it really doesn't matter where I hang my hat. But going back to you all, you made it into the training. Now you've got to make it through the training. You get tested every Friday. There are different projects that you're going to work on individually and also as a team. There's capstone projects. And the other nice thing is that the entire cohort is going to go to work for that company. So you've been with these classmates for 12 straight weeks. Granted, it's virtual, right? It's from your den or your kitchen. So the training is virtual with instructors. But now when you do go on site with the client, you're going to know everybody from the class. Okay. This is not like we never train one person to go anywhere just because it makes, because the training is so specialized that we tell our clients it's a minimum of 10. All right. Now, that being said, what do we have currently in that we're trying to recruit for right now? We do have one of the systems integrators needs people down in the San Antonio area for PeopleSoft, which is an Oracle platform, much like ADP. We also have an upcoming one that it's either going to be Charleston, South Carolina, very nice town, or Melbourne, Florida, and that's going to be for a defense contractor. By the way, SkillStorm is a TSSCI cleared facility. What does that mean? That means we can obtain and retain security clearances. So if you're coming out of the military with a security clearance, we can retain it for you. If a client needs you to have a security clearance, whether it's a secret, an MBI, public trust, we can get those security clearance for the individuals. We just recruited a whole bunch of people for one of the system integrators to go do some work that they won a government contract for with the IRS, and they needed public trust for that. We got everyone in the cohort the public trust. So if the recruiter, as you're going through the recruiting process, asks you to fill out, a background check form, don't be alarmed by that. Just it might be for a clearance. Anyway, as far as that's concerned, you're going to know that before you even start. Okay, it's going to be part of the recruiting process because again, you're going to know the company, you're going to know the tech stack, you're going to know the location, and you're going to know does it need a clearance or not. Now, some of our clients, like Conoco Oil, couldn't care less if you had a clearance, right? Same with the Vanguard Group, the mutual fund company, they could care less. But some of the defense contractors, some of the systems integrators, because they do a lot of work for the U.S. government and some of the intel agencies, you do need clearances. But again, we'll get that for you as long as you can qualify for it. And then once you go on site, your commitment to SkillStorm is a 2-year period. It's 24 months. And then after the 24 months, we can either extend you into a third year, but what we do is we let the client know that after 24 months that you're a free agent, okay, that you can, that they can offer you full-time employment, and we don't charge them any money for that. So if, as an example, if Hank comes into SkillStorm, goes through the academy, goes to work on site, he's in his 23rd month, we'll reach out to the client and say, hey, how do you like Hank? And if they say, oh, he's fantastic. He's a great team player. He's always loves to learn new things. We really like him. When they say, well, if you like him that much, make him an offer. All right. Well, guess what? With the shortage of tech talent in the United States, do you think that one of our clients is going to let a good software developer walk out the door without offering him a decent pay package? Okay, probably not. Speaking of pay, what is it you're going to earn? I will tell you that you are a SkillStorm employee even on the first day of training, where you're going to make the $20 an hour. Your health, dental, vision comes from us. Your 401k plan comes from us. Your paycheck's going to come from us. If you are in an area that is not what we deem high cost of living, you'll be making $27.65 an hour the first year, so it's about $56,000. That'll, if you're doing well on site, in the second year that'll get bumped up to $32.50 an hour. If you are in a high cost of living area, i.e., the Washington D.C. area, New York, Boston, Chicago, those types of areas, you will start at $32.50 an hour, and then in the second year you'll get bumped up to $37.50. Okay, so it's that $5 an hour bump up is about $10,000. So that second year you'll be making about $66,000, unless it was a high cost of living area. Then you'd be starting there and then getting bumped up to about the mid 70s in your second year. But again, you need that in order to, I mean, we want to make sure you can eat, and you can pay your rent. But then, when the client gets to talk to you about becoming a full-time employee, and by the way, that happens about 80% of the time, that's when your salary is really going to exponentially rise, right? You got 2 years of experience. You've already proven yourself to them. They already know you. You know the company culture. And like I said, they're not about to let you walk out the door if they really like you without offering you a really good pay package. All right. The other thing is too, remember I was talking about those certification courses we teach for the different universities. We offer about 19 now, 19 different certification courses, 4 in Pega, 4 in Appian, 2 in AWS, 4 in CompTIA, which is cyber. We offer 2 in AI, and then we also offer PMP now, preparing for your PMP exam. And so if you add those up, I think it's right around 19 courses we have. When you go on site, we call you a stormer, right? Everything at SkillStorm revolves around a hurricane. I guess that comes from being in Florida since we were founded. And but anyway, a stormer for life. Once you go on site, you get your feet wet, and you're really comfortable, you have reach back capability. You're allowed to take one at a time, obviously, but you are allowed to take every one of those courses for free. Instructor led, okay? You can take the CompTIA courses, you can take the AWS courses, which is Amazon's cloud. You can take the 2 AI courses, Introduction to AI and the AI Fundamentals. You can take the PMT preparation. You can take Appian and Pega for each. Now, Appian and Pega, if you all don't know what that is, that's robotic process automation. It's used a lot in the financial community to streamline business processes. Appian and Pega are 2 huge competitors of each other. They've been known to sue each other because of different institutional theft, I guess is what it's called. But anyway, but think Coke and Pepsi. Okay. So again, we, as a stormer for life, you have, and that's, by the way, for life. If you decide, 5 years from now to take one of them, we let you take it at no cost. Okay, so that in itself is like a $31,000 value if you took every one of them. So our goal is to train you, really is to make sure you're capable of the training, that you know an OOP language, to train you really well, so well. And when you get on site and you treat that 2 years on site as a 2-year job interview, so you're bringing your A game every day, and at the end of the 2 years, that there is no way that firm wants to let you leave. All right, that's our goal. That's accelerating, and our company motto is accelerate opportunity, and that's exactly what we're trying to do with you. And then just think, you become a full-time employee, and now you can reach back and start taking those free courses. You can start even before then, but I'm just saying that you can get another handful of certifications at no cost. The other thing is to, let's say for budgetary reasons or headcount, maybe the firm can't take you, but they still like you a lot. Well, guess what? If they say, maybe in a year from now we can onboard you, then that's up to you. Do you want to stay? And then what will happen is we'll push you into a 3rd year of the contract, and obviously we'll give you a raise because you've got 2 years of experience behind you, and then we'll let that firm, once that time period is ready for you, then they can go ahead and take you. By the way, if we never get in the way ever of an individual, if somebody is just gets on site and they've been there for 8 or 9 months and they're a complete rock star in the client's eyes, and they say, hey, you know what, can we take Hank after a year? We don't get in the way of full-time employment. If they want you after a year, we let that happen. That's a discussion we have with them real quick, and we let that happen. So don't think that if you're doing super well that, and they ask for you, we will definitely make that happen. Our goal is to get you permanent employment. Okay. Our goal is that you don't work for SkillStorm for 10 years, right? Our goal is that you become a member of their team. And as I said, I did put how to apply in the chat. It's very simple. It's apply@skillstorm.com. And if anybody has any questions, that kind of finishes my discussion on what we're doing. And if anybody has any questions, hold on. I need glasses.
Yep. I'll unmute so we can ask questions. Okay, Drew. Drew has a question.
Hi, this is Drew. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I just
Yeah,
did.
go ahead, Drew.
Okay. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, John. Thanks for being here. I'm going to try my best not to dominate too much of your time because I'm sure it's valuable. But I actually have 3 questions. I hope I can get them nice and concise. You gave a very thorough explanation of the software dev application process. I'm in a cybersec program, so I would like to know if it's kind of a similar experience when and if you hire cybersecurity. I also wanted to know what cyber security certs that you'd like to see on an applicant's resume. And my last question is, what if you wanted to stay on with SkillStorm full time, do several deployments, or maybe specialize in a certain type of deployment? Is that an option? I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of talking to the recruiter.
Okay.
As far as what it is that you're looking for, and if they don't have it, I will tell you that in the cyber community, that they are very reluctant to hire entry level, and so it's a
Entry level.
At least as far as what we've seen, we don't have a ton of a demand for cyber from the system integrators. The But that being said, if indeed a cohort came up for cyber, we would definitely reach out to you. I mean, so I would still go ahead and apply. But but you could, again, we don't recruit one person for the college grad program until we have a demand from a client. So you would know if it was going to be for cyber before you start. The other is that, with people with cyber, a lot of times in order for you to come into the regular program, if it wasn't cyber, I don't know whether you'd be able to get in, because unless you taught yourself or took some software development classes while you were at WGU that could get you past that object-oriented programming tech screen.
Okay, perfect. Excellent info. Thank you. And I really do appreciate you being here. This is a really neat experience. So thank you.
So we have another question from Joseph. He said, I attempted earlier to apply, but was not accepted. Can you reapply?
Yes, you can reapply. After 90 days, you can reapply. Absolutely. The one thing I would do, though, is I would, if you go to our website and you go to Storm Surge, we have a course on there for free. It's self-paced. It's called Introduction to Coding. I really recommend that you take that course. It's going to help you with the tech screen, because a lot of the tech screen questions come from Introduction to Coding. If you have, hold on a second. Since everybody's sitting in front of their computer, it's not easy to get to. So if you go to our homepage, if you go to SkillStorm.com, I'll talk you through it. I'm going to do it with you, so we're both on the same page. So, once you get to the home page, at the very top of the home page, you see Join the Storm, and then there's 3 lines that get smaller. Click on that, and then up comes some choices. Go to Tech Training, click on that, and then under that is that Corporate Training Online Certification Courses. Click on Online Certification Courses, and then slowly scroll down, and the very first orange little canoe that you come to, it says View All Courses. Click on that, and up will come that very first course. It's a 90-hour course. It's Introduction to Coding. It's going to cover object-oriented programming in Java, data structures, and relational databases in SQL. Again, it's going to help you prepare for the tech screen, and especially for those that applied before and didn't make it through the vetting process. You want to try again. I really recommend you take that, and then get 3/4 of the way through it, and then go ahead and apply.
So, John, I did have a question that came to my email earlier this week. Well, earlier last week, sorry. As far as applying for the role, is there a specific year that they have to be in, or do they have to be a junior, senior?
Yeah, they have to be a graduate, because all the positions that our clients have are for people with a bachelor's degree. And again, that's the U.S. government that's demanding that. So you need a bachelor's degree, and you need to know the knowledge of OOP.
What would your advice be for someone who's about to graduate? Would it be like 3-4 months out? Should they apply, or should they?
Well, I know that at WGU you have people that graduate literally every month, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not like let's say Michigan State, where everybody graduates in May, right, or December. So I mean, I would start the conversation probably 90 days out, and then the recruiters will know which cohorts, one that we're recruiting for currently. That's obviously not going to help you because we have to wait till you graduate, but they're going to know, they're going to be able to tell you what's coming up. So 60 to 90 days out is probably a really good time to start. And again, when you do that, immediately start that intro to coding. Right? Because like I said, a lot of the questions on the tech screen come from the intro to coding. And I see somebody had a question about relocation.
Yep.
Yes, SkillStorm helps with relocation. Sometimes when a client gives us cities, sometimes they give us a choice, which means the candidate gets a choice. So sometimes, and it doesn't happen all the time. We had one for ServiceNow, the software ServiceNow was in St. Louis, and it had to be St. Louis. We also had one for that we're recruiting for currently for Salesforce, right? For the software Salesforce, the Salesforce administrator, Salesforce developer. That's what you're going to learn in the academy. But it's got to be in San Antonio. So there weren't choices. But once in a while, the company will come to us and they'll say, well, you can either go to Tampa, Dallas, or San Antonio, right? So, and they don't care where. It's just got to be, you got to be in one of their offices. So then the individual gets the choice. I will tell you one thing though, regarding remote work. Remote work, every month that goes by, every month that we're further away from COVID, there is less and less remote work available. Okay, that is just a fact. Now, the thing is some companies are going, you know what, I need you in the office 3 days a week, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I need you in the office. You can work from home on Monday and Friday. The problem is, if you live in Tallahassee, Florida, and you're working for PwC in Phoenix, well, you've got to live in Phoenix, right? You can't commute from Tallahassee, Florida to Phoenix every week. And so that's why the relocation, even if it's not in the office 5 days a week, you still have to be in the local area.
All right. Alicia, I see your hand raised. You have a question?
Hey, can y'all hear me? It's Elisha.
Yeah. Elijah, sorry.
It's okay, it happens all the time. So I have a question. So I am a recent WGU graduated in January. I have about 2 years of experience in IT. I'm currently a system administrator. I don't want to take a step back in pay, right, to do something like this. The high cost of living pay, like that entry level, you said 66, yes. 67 is about like where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I'm in Houston, right? So I'm not sure what you guys have to say about that. You know what I mean? Like in terms of flexibility, if that's something, if you're looking for people that are graduates, I worked and raised a family and continue to raise a family through my whole time at WGU. So
the one,
you know what I'm saying? Like I can't.
No, I understand. Once in a while, and I mean, this is once in a while, we get a demand from a client where they want the individuals to have 1 or 2 years of IT experience. I think it's just it's luck of the dice, right? When you apply, is that available? The other is that just when you get a recruiter on the phone, just tell them exactly, what it is, experience-wise that you have, what it is that you need, and then, if they don't have it, they'll be able to tell you that. If they do, if indeed we had just gotten a demand from a client that's saying, hey, we need somebody with, a 1.5 years or 2 years of IT experience in order to fill this role for the federal government, then, you might be a fit. but again, those don't come down, a lot. It does happen though once in a while. So, it's the luck of the draw. But you know what? You can always say no. So, if you apply and there's no fit for you, just say, hey, you know what? Put me in future interest in case that does come around. And then, so, I mean, it sounds like you're already employed. You graduated in January. I wouldn't stop where you're working. I would just, if you're interested in SkillStorm, go ahead and apply, but explain everything to them so they know, right?
Sure.
They can't read your mind. So, just tell them everything and say, hey, put me in future interest in case, one of the system integrators comes down and says, hey, we need people with 2 years of experience.
Right. Okay. Well, I applied yesterday, so I guess I'll expect a call.
Great.
And Elijah, thank you for dropping that link in the chat for the training website there. All right. Anyone else have any other questions?
I have another one that that may be a little touchy to answer, so don't answer if you don't feel comfortable, John. I'm going to be just under 50 when I graduate. I'll be entry level in cyber, assuming that I had. I do have a little coding experience, but let's assume that I became fluent in a couple of different languages, and for all intents and purposes, would normally be an applicant that you guys would take a second look at. Do you have many people my age that are, kind of coming into the field new and,
Yeah. Yes, to answer your question, yeah, we do. We have people that are changing careers for whatever their reasons are. We do have some career changes. I mean, it's not a lot. The majority of the people that come to SkillStorm are walking right off a college campus. Just like most of the people, I'm sure I understand that WGU, there might be some people that had breaks in their education or back in school, but for the most part, they are younger. But to be honest with you, line managers don't care. I mean, I always say a line manager doesn't. If a German Shepherd could code, that line manager would be hiring the German Shepherd. So they don't care your age, they don't care your ethnicity, they don't care about anything. They just want to know, can you do the job?
excellent. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions? We still have about 15 minutes left in the session. All right.
Okay.
I think that is
Nope.
all. I appreciate
Sorry,
everyone. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, since we've got John here, and this opportunity may not come up. What branch of the military did you come up through, John? If you don't mind.
No. I was in the Marine Corps for 28 years.
So I just won $1. Because I mean, you've got Marine all over you, which Marines are.
I'll call it. I'll consider that a compliment.
Absolutely you should. Absolutely you should.
And by the way, Hank, there was somebody that had a question. I'll answer it offline. It was regarding a veteran program we have, and I've added my email in the chat for that individual if he wants to reach out to me and ask that question about the veteran program.
Gotcha. All right. I'll definitely share that with them. If there's no other questions, thank you everyone for joining this Career Quest session. Be on the lookout for some other Career Quest sessions we do have this month. We do have a question.
About do they have to graduate before I can register? Yeah. No, but it shouldn't be like 8 months or a year prior. 2 to 3 months would be max. before you graduate. Because what's going to happen is they're going to want to see your diploma. It's not us. Again, it's the system integrators that are going to show that to the federal government. See, Hank's got his, his bachelor's degree, and without that, you're kind of dead in the water. We won't let you start training without it.
Thanks, John. All right. Well,
Thanks everybody.
Thank you for joining.
I appreciate it, and good luck.
John,
Whether you choose SkillStorm or not, that's up to you all. But I'll tell you, I wish you all luck. And you've worked hard to get your computer science degree or any other degree, and maybe a computer science minor. It is a great industry to be in. And just remember that once you get into the industry, you've got to be a forever learner. All right. It doesn't stop. Anyway, take care, everybody, and good luck.
Thank you,
John.
Bye-bye.
John.
Bye.